Sandy here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am playing with some fun products that I got from Brutus Monroe. So they might seem a little bit funky, but I am going to be scrapbooking these two photos of me and my husband. So I have some cardstock. I have the Til Death Stamp Set, some Velveteen Glaze. I also got the Playful Plaid paper collection. I have Salutations #1, which is a Echo Park sticker sheet that I got from Brutus Monroe, some jumbo media tags, and the Sequin Builder stencil. So let's see what I can do. All right, guys, so I am starting out with two photos that I printed on my home printer. I printed them on to 4x6 photo paper, but I printed them at the 4x4 size, because I am going to make a grid layout. Now I am using the new paper pack from Brutus Monroe called Playful Plaid, and you guys know I love me a good plaid. Like, plaids are the way to my soul, I feel like. I am just a fan, big fan of the plaid. So I am going to cut them down into squares so that I can overlap them. Now that might seem a little bit weird that I am putting plaid on top of plaid, but like I said, I like it. So as long as you like it, then that is what matters, right? So you have to make your decision and decide what kind of things you like and what kind of things you don't like. So if you love a good plaid, then put plaid on top of plaid. If the idea of that much pattern makes you shudder, then you're not going to want to do that. You're going to want to maybe use one plaid and one plain piece of paper. But like I said, I'm a plaid fan, so this paper pack is right up my alley, like right up my alley, you guys. So I am using a variety of colors, and I am just making sure that I am getting these square cuts so nicely. So basically what I am thinking of doing at this point is I'm going to have two photos. I'm going to have a decorative panel, and then I will have a title panel. So I'm thinking my photos are going to be diagonal from each other, and then my decorative panel and my title panel will be across from each other as well. That's what my original thought was. Some of the things change a little bit, and that's okay. So I'm going to overlap these plaid pieces, and the two photos have the same background plaid piece, and then the two just plaid papers have the same background plaid piece as well. So now we're getting into the fun stuff. Cutting paper, that's fun too, guys. Like, paper is fun, but actually playing with this kind of stuff, this is the fun stuff. So I'm using a variety of Velveteen Glazes, and I'm just using a palette knife to spread them directly on my page. Now I am doing this in a very thin amount. My mixed media is thin for the sole reason I want it to dry quickly. If I want it big, thick color, you could either put this on thick and you would have to wait for it to dry longer, or you could build up a couple thin layers to get the deeper color. But like I said, I want my mixed media to dry quickly because I am rocking and rolling right now with my scrapbooking. I am just putting out page after page and loving it. So I don't have time for that, right? I just don't have time for it. So I am kind of mixing the colors a little bit together. They are melding and merging together ever so slightly where I have the colors overlapping next to each other. I did purposefully go from kind of like the orangey on one side to the bluey on the other. I did not want it to be striped. I wanted it to kind of feel like it was a natural progression, even though it's not truly a natural progression because these are not colors that I feel like would naturally progress to each other. But you know what? It is what it is, and I love how it turns out. So that is what matters, right? Right. You have to love your stuff. So I do add a little bit more just so I can get these colors to kind of go into each other a little bit better. I was very stripy with the first two colors, and then once I started going over to the second and third color, I felt like it was melding a little bit better, so I needed to make that happen over to the left. So I am going to take this mixed media tag and I am going to go ahead and stamp on it. So it is a thicker kind of substrate material. It's not just like a straight piece of cardstock. And I decided that I needed to bring in the color from the background to the foreground a little bit more. So I'm using my Velveteen Glaze over top of this this piece of tag, basically, and I'm putting it on super thin just because I want the color to be there. I just want the color of the Velveteen Glaze. So I put it on super thin, and then I am going to heat gun this bad boy just to dry it even quicker because it is, you know, it's not completely dry. It's a little bit wet. And I just need it to dry enough that I can work with it. So a lot of the times when I am working with mixed media, I don't let it completely dry. It's just dry enough so that I can work with it and I can play with it and I can just make the things happen. So now I'm going to pull out this super cute couple. It's kind of like this zombie bride and this Frankenstein-esque dude. And, you know, they've just been together forever. And I thought that it was totally appropriate for the photo of my husband and I up at the top. When I shared that photo online, it was a I promise we actually do love each other kind of thing, because the face we're making is just kind of like whatever. But I felt like I needed to include a good photo of us two where we're like happy and smiley and lovey. So I went ahead and put that down as well. So now I've got my little guys on my paper and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is turning out so awesome. So then I think, you know what, where my title is, I'm going to embellish that a little bit more. So I grab the Sequin Builder stencil, and the stencil's purpose is to be able to create scenes with sequins, right? But I don't think I've ever used it for that purpose. Maybe once I made a card with it. I'm thinking maybe once. But really, I use it as a stencil. So I am using some gold glitter glaze because glitter glaze is my jam. And I am using a different palette knife than the one I used for the Velveteen Glaze. Now, I do recommend, if you are a glitter glaze fan, that you pick one palette knife that will be your glitter glaze palette knife, like, period. And that's because no matter what, no matter how much you wipe it off, no matter how much you wash it off, you're always going to have a little bit of that glitter lingering. There's that glitter loves to stick, right, to everything. Many times I'm in my craft room in here making things and I haven't even played with glitter and I come out and glitter is on me just because it's there, right? Or maybe you're not a slob like me, but glitter gets everywhere in my room. So I recommend using one knife for that. So I'm not even really going to wait for this to dry because I'm going to put my pieces of paper right down on top of it. And then I'm just going to figure out where I want each one of these blocks to go for my grid layout. Now, I did make the decision to keep this blue square over on the orangey side. And it was a conscious decision to use the gold glitter glaze on the bluer side because it was kind of mimicking the golden, orangey, yellowy bits of mixed media that I had on the left. So that was a conscious decision that I wanted to have happen. So I pick off a sentiment from this sticker sheet. And it's just hello. So I am going to add a stamp sentiment here. I'm just going to go ahead and stamp it right under hello, so it says hello together forever. And then I kind of feel like hello is getting lost. Like the tone of the word kind of blends into that blue Velveteen Glaze background that I have going on. So I'm just going to take a black pen and outline it, and all that's going to do is give that word a little bit of pop, and it's not a lot of work to get that extra little bit of definition. Like you can see the hello so much better now. And now I've got to figure out what the heck I'm doing down here for the title box. And then I was like, oh, well, maybe this is the title box now because I have hello together forever over there. So maybe I should do something different down here. So I'm making a banner, and how I make my banners is I find the width of the banner, I find the center point, and I cut from each end into the center point, and that gives me my banner end. Now there are some fabulous master craftsmen out there that can bend their pieces of paper and cut a fishtail banner like that. I am not one of them. This method works for me, so that's what I do. Now I am going to grab some vellum because I'm like, you know what? I need vellum in my life. So I'm going to grab some vellum, and it's going to be adhered underneath where this little sticker that says heck yeah. And I thought that this was completely appropriate for these photos, and the I just tapped my iPad with my pen. I can't believe I just did that. So that's what that was. I just tapped my iPad. My pen ran out of ink, so I had to throw it away and grab a new one. But now I am just wrapping up the journaling, and of course I'm writing epic, lovely words about my husband, because he is fantastic. If you've never met him, you are missing out in your life. Seriously, the man is amazing. So now I'm going to wrap up getting that journaling on there. And I think that is all I'm going to do. I do add a little bit of ATG under the vellum. You can see it very slightly, but not enough for me to like stress out about it. Anyway, there it is, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. And I hope you got some kind of new ideas on how to use a stamp set. Did you even know you could stamp it on top of Velveteen Glaze? Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again real soon for another video.